In Artificial Meter Part 154, Simple Simon. This is a 2010 Swedish film that very much feels like it was a few years behind where artistic representation was at the time, but also, while many countries' minority representation mirrors that of Hollywood, that's not always the case, and I have literally no context for the history of autistic representation in Sweden other than Young Royals, which came out over a decade after this. But anyway, this movie feels kind of like if Adam, Please Stand By, and Curious Incident were combined into the same film. It's narratively super in line with the stereotypical autism voice of, I'm a young white man who likes everything just right, and I really care about my specific routines, and I like space and time and math. And much like those other examples, it starts out feeling very stereotypical, almost copy-paste from the other stories like this with the same, this is what sad face and happy face look like. I don't understand metaphors. Sometimes people say things they don't mean. I don't believe in lying. Monologues that first appeared in Curious Incident and then appeared in everything else afterwards for at least a decade. But once it starts to settle into the plot, it feels a lot less forced. And overall, it wasn't my favorite of these films because it felt very cookie-cutter and predictable, but it definitely did have that comfort level of the 2000s autism representation that is annoyingly repetitive once you consume a lot of it, but still holds a large piece of my heart. And also the whole, like, he likes this person so his sensory needs to disappear thing at the end, and the insistence that autistics are inherently violent are not my favorite things. But one thing I really did love was that it utilized this Napoleon Dynamite Wes Anderson sort of aesthetic to demonstrate his oddness. I've reviewed Napoleon Dynamite as autistic coded in this series before, and I know a lot of Wes Anderson's things are artistic coded as well, but this is the first time I've seen that kind of weird indie-esque film style used to deliberately denote explicit autism, and I think it was a fantastic choice and served the source material very well. And I don't know how it's taken me this long to find a film that does that because it's so obvious, and I really wish that we played with that style of editing more than the other editing style that's really common, which is the like Sherlockian Good Doctor House Criminal Minds situation that feels a lot more contrived and clinical rather than artistic.